Listen, hey guys, welcome to Little Black But 91. Listen, we're talking to you guys about Love is Blind. Let me tell you this now. We're going to be here for the next 2 hours. I promise you, it's going to be absolutely carnage. Because what am I watching on my screen? Ah! The first 2 episodes, listen, you already know how I feel. Do not come and spoil it for me. We've only watched 2 episodes. If you know information from episode 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, I don't want to hear anything in the chat. I will block you and I won't unblock you, okay? So keep it kosher, okay? Keep it kosher in the chat. I don't want to see you come out here and spoil it. We've done only 1 and 2 episodes. I don't want to know about 3, 4, 5, 6. I only know about 1 and 2. And I can tell you 1 and 2 is enough to take you out. So listen, we're going to break it down for the next 1 or 2 hours. We're going to be here. I don't even know where to start. This is how bad it is. I don't know where to start. The cover of this particular video, as you see, is Matthew, right? That in itself is enough. Okay, that in itself is enough. I am flabbergasted because it was like watching a beautiful pantomime play. First of all, it's an introduction. So just let me get the introduction out of the way. It was like a beautiful pantomime, a beautiful, play and theatre production. Well done to Love is Blind. Can we say well done? This is storytelling. Yeah, if you're going to give me a show, this is the storytelling I want to see. Don't give me what I've been seeing on Ready to Love. No offense to Ready to Love, but every offense. I need Ready to Love to see your age mates. I need you to see your castmates. I need you to see your rivals. This is how you do a storyline. I want to see this. Give me love, give me carnage, give me relationship, give me some red flags, give me some insecurities, but give me a damn show. This is what I want to see. Okay? If you give me a good balance, a healthy meal, give me some carnage, a little bit of love here, a sprinkle of a dessert here. Give me all of it. You get what I'm saying to you? That's what I want to see. And you know, and so I'm saying, well done. Well done to Love is Blind. Well freaking done. Well freaking done. Played beautifully. That is what I want to see. Okay? That is exactly what I want to see. Okay? If you haven't watched episode 1 and 2, I'm telling you, go watch it. Have I got a little sign in my beard? Hold on. I got a little sign in my beard. A little sign in my beard. There you go. Let it get out. Okay? All right? But I'm telling you now, we're about to break it down. And I got notes. And I mean, I've got notes. I got notes. That's one of two. I can't believe how many notes I've got, bro. But we're going to get into this, okay? So listen, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. We're here to break down Love is Blind for you guys as well. And like I said, we're going to break down episodes 1 and 2. Nothing too crazy. So if you are here, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe as well, okay? Make sure you're sharing this with somebody. They need to watch this as well, okay? All right? I told you I'm coming correct for Love is Blind this year. After I've done this, I need to do separate videos as well because we need to break it all the way down. You need to see what I saw. I saw absolute madness and carnage, okay? I saw absolute madness and carnage within 2 episodes. My mind is blown, okay? My mind is blown. Okay, so forgive me, all right, if I'm high energy, high octane. I've not eaten anything. I'm fasting. May the good Lord prevail. Let's get into this stuff. But before we do, let me drop a little intro, as always, for you guys, and then get into the show, because, baby. Hey! Let me tell you something.
It's okay.
I'm telling you, because let me tell you something. Love is Blind said,
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
I'm telling you, and Matthew, one more time.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
One more time.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
That's Matthew for this episode. All right, listen. Let's get the intro going, and then let's get the show flowing, because let me tell you something. It's crazy, baby. You know what time it is. 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 All right, let's start. Okay, let's start with them. I'm gonna start big. I'm not gonna waste time. I'm gonna go straight into where the madness lies. Okay, that's Matthew, Amber, AD, and Clay, the foursome. Okay, I want you to understand something. And the first 2 episodes, again, please, if you're in the chat, no spoilers from episode 3, 4, 5, and 6. I don't know about those episodes. I only know 1 and 2. And in 1 and 2, here's the madness, right? First and foremost, we've got Matthew. Okay, if you don't know what he looks like, I'm going to play a little clip for you guys in a second so you can actually see, all right? We've got Matthew and AD who, are talking, getting to know each other, right? And that is an interesting one in itself. Let's have a little clip here so you can watch it.
Typically, you're riding dirt bikes or four-wheelers. Showing emotion is weakness. And being in a dating pod is...
All righty. So listen, yeah? Matthew was a gentleman that was speaking, and that's AD. AD is Amber. She's the second Amber. There were 2 Ambers. Listen, I'm not about to give you a whole rundown of pictures about who the people are. If you have not been watching the show, it's not my job to now break down all the characters to you. If you have not been watching it, I'm not here to break it down to you, okay? All right? So let me just say this now, all right? Cool. So if anybody puts spoilers in the chat, I want to say it again. Just put them on timeout. Don't block them. Put them on timeout, because we can't do it this season, okay? All right? We can't do it this season, all right? Cool. So we have Matthew. And we have AD, right? Matthew and AD. And they've been, you know, he at the beginning he was obnoxious. The edit they gave us was that Matthew was an obnoxious person. He's rude. He's disrespectful. We have this clip where he's talking to another lady called Sarah Ann. When he's talking to Sarah Ann, yeah, he actually exits the room. Like she's talking, and in between her talking, he exits the room. And I'm like, this guy is hella rude. Here's a little look.
Love and all this stuff, and sometimes I even feel uncomfortable even saying that word. You pick the number, and then you get a corresponding question.
Number 4, please.
Now, listen, I didn't even give you the right clip because I think I clicked on the wrong part. Sorry, apologies. But they show us a little montage of him, and he walks out the room. He asks the girl a question. She's answering the question, and he walks out the room. How rude, how disrespectful, how nasty. And then, I want to just say this. And then, okay, all right, it gets to AD. AD is Amber 2, okay, the black girl. Now, here's the first thought I had in my head. The moment Matthew starts talking to Amber, my first comment in my head was, why is it the black woman is becoming the rehabilitation center for this gentleman? I can't lie to you. That was the first thing on my head. My first thing on my head was, why is the black woman becoming the rehabilitation center for this gentleman? Because let me tell you this now. First and foremost, he doesn't do well. Okay, he doesn't do well with emotions. He can't open himself up. Let me just say this again. Ladies, if you are dating out there, please leave the unemotional men who don't know how to express themselves, who don't know how to show love, who don't know how to be emotionally intelligent. Leave them in 2023. We are in 2024. It's time to move forward. Okay, move forward. Listen to what I just said to you. Turn to your neighbor on your right and turn to your neighbor on your left and say, move forward. Okay, we ain't gonna be looking back in 2023, and I'm telling you that he is emotionally devoid. Okay, cool. Now, here's the thing, right? Aside that, I think you guys have said it. The opening lines of his questions were beautiful. I mean, listen, from the beginning, the questions that he had was absolutely succulent. Let me tell you why it was succulent. Because what he does is he goes, I've got a list of questions from 1 to 15 for you. Okay, 1 to 15, and you're in your head, you're thinking to yourself, wow, you know, this is somebody who's intentional. They got questions ready, and it's even fun because he's got 1 to 15. Choose a number. You're gonna be able to choose, okay, what particular question you want to answer. Fantastic. I'm feeling good. Hold on before my lip get dry. You're feeling good, right? And then, so he starts off really strong. And there's a scene where he's talking, and the girl says, I think it might have been Amy. No, it might have been Jessica. Sorry, it was Jessica. Jessica says to him, "Oh, so you know," she basically asked him the question back, and he's like, "Oh, I wasn't ready to answer the question." That was my first red flag. That was my first red flag. If I don't put a B there, that was my first red flag for Matthew. Sorry, my second. Apologies. The first one was when he walked away when the girl was speaking, which is rude, disrespectful, and very dismissive. My second red flag was, why are you asking people questions and you don't think you're going to be asked those questions back? That was my second red flag, right? Okay, cool. My third red flag for him, okay, red flag for him was that it was AD that he was now making the rehabilitation center, okay? That this brother doesn't know how to connect emotionally. He doesn't know how to express himself. But it was AD who he found himself ready to be able to open up to. And I want us to be honest. Let's stop pretending, okay? He knew she was black. I'm not saying that as a racist thing. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, okay? All right? I'm just saying, you know, because he chose Amber and Amber, by the way. So one black, one white. So I'm not saying he's a racist. I'm just saying, yeah. But my third red flag was actually outside of him. It wasn't his red flag. It was Amber's red flag. So AD, the black girl, Amber, okay, what she said was, oh, I have a problem with red flags. I ignore red flags. In fact, I paint my nails red. Now, when someone tells you that they ignore red flags, and I'm seeing 2 red flags within the first minute of somebody being talking, I already know that you're about to add another few more red flags because the person can't even recognize red flags. They're telling you straight, I wear red flags on my fingernails. So that was a red flag in itself, that the first 2 and then her red flag, I was like, this is going to be too much. But I wanted to give him a chance. Because, you know, he opened up, he started sharing, you know, he started telling his life, he started expressing how he felt. He started saying things that were on his mind and stuff like that. You know, he slid down the couch. sat down on the floor and then started having conversation. And AD was excited. Now, here's one of my problems I had with Amber, AD. One of my problems I had with Amber, AD, is the fact that she started feeling special. And I understand why, because I want to make this message, and I'll do a separate video for you guys as well, right? You know, I want to say this, that you have to understand that when it comes to people like AD, Amber, they're I want to call them encouragers and healers. If you're a person like this, listen to this message. This is for you, okay? If you are an encourager and a healer, I need you to listen to me very, very carefully. If you know you are an encourager and a healer, I need you to listen to me very carefully, because you are at risk. I'm also one, so I know you are at risk. Here's what you're at risk at: your own pride, your own ego, and your own ability to heal and encourage others. You are at risk of your own behavior. Okay, you are at risk of your beacon of light being a lighthouse for those who I call malevolent, bad, evil, naughty, nasty, wounded men or women to be attracted to you. Okay? All right. When you have that ability to heal and encourage people, the problem is that you have been in places. When you are an encourager, it's because you've been discouraged. When you are a healer, it's because you've been broken. And so you understand the power of healing people because you have been in places of being broken, right? What happens is you also find yourself in spaces with other people that are broken, and you tend to try and play doctor. And the trouble with this is there are too many people that are willing to want to play with your life and want to take advantage of the gift that you have. Yeah? There's too many of them. Matthew is that guy. Okay? All right? An emotional F-boy on my other channel, Dark Arts. If you ever watch it, I talk about this kind of stuff. Make sure you're subscribed to that channel. If you haven't done so already, I'll put a link in a few minutes for you guys on that channel, right? But I want to let you know again, listen, emotional F-boys love healers and encouragers. Okay? Emotional F-boys love encouragers and healers. Because the encourager and the healer oftentimes are either codependent, they're people pleasers, they got no discernment, they got poor boundaries, and so they end up in spaces where they're always trying to heal someone because you got your ego yourself. Yeah, you're trying to feel special. Oh, you thought I was going to talk about the F-boy. No, we can talk about him, but you already know about him. Right? I want to talk to those who are healers and encouragers. You have an ego, okay? And I need you to understand that your ego is what's going to get you into trouble. You want to feel loved, you want to feel cared for, and you want to feel special. So you fix people up. You fix them up. You build them up, your project bear boo, okay? You build a bear boo, you're Bob the Builder. And when you do this, what happens is people who are wanting to be built and who have emotional wounds take advantage of you. Right? Why not? Why not take advantage of you if you're willing to give me everything on a platter and a plate without discerning whether I'm here to eat the food on the table or eat you? Why? If you ain't got no discernment about the wolf that's entering your house, these three little piggies gonna get ate. Okay? All right? So if you are a healer and an encourager, you're somebody that builds people up, you have to be careful of you. You are the most dangerous person, not the F-boy. You! And you're the most dangerous person because your own pride and your own ego and your own need to feel special because you haven't felt special. This is why, look, a lot of encouragers and healers are people that didn't feel special in their life. They were made to feel discarded, put aside, not loved, not cared, not wanted, not desired. And what happens is you end up in places where people try to make you feel those things because you are trying to make up for what you didn't have in your childhood. It puts you in places where you are trying to build a bear and build a project. Because in the end, what's going to happen is when I build that project, I can stand back and be like, I did that. Yeah. And they're going to feel so grateful for you building them up. Right? They're going to love you for building them up. They're going to be so appreciative of you building up. No, they're not. Okay? No, they're not. Okay? No, they are not. Okay? So, unfortunately, AD found herself in a situation with someone like Matthew, who is a tyrant, an emotional F-boy, a player, Huh? This boy,
Here.
So I think, give me a little more time, and I think maybe I can win you over, or maybe somebody else.
Is that something you want to do? Win me over?
I'm gonna try.
Now, of course, let me tell you this now. If you haven't gone to my Dark Arts page, you need to go and watch this stuff. I've started releasing a whole videos of Dark Arts, and I will release some videos of Dark Arts as well when it comes to Love is Blind. I will do specific videos so that you don't get played as well, right? Because Matthew is one of the most dangerous guys walking. I always say this, listen, emotional F-boys are one of the most dangerous people out there. They don't want your money, okay? They're not even trying to sex you, okay? What they want is your mind. And everything flows from the mind. What they want is your heart. Everything proceeds from the heart. They want your emotions. We make all our decisions based on emotional aspects. That is why they're the most dangerous people, because they want to draw you in your mind, your heart, and your emotions. And when they get you there, the heartbreak is different. I'm just saying, I'm a reformed F-boy emotionally, so I can tell you this for free. I don't want the sex part. Okay, I want you to understand something. We don't want the sex part. What we want is your mind, and we want your heart, and we want your emotions. If I win that, I've got you. Finito. For a very long time. I will have you thinking about whether life is really making sense. Like, you get that person into a place where they're even trying to think, what's going on? Because it's like, how can he be so caring of my emotions or my thoughts, but then he's not giving me the behavior I need? That's where the confusion lies. See, and a boy that wants to have your body and has sex with you, you can kind of see it. Okay, he wants to have sex with me. The sex might be amazing, but you know that's all they want. They kind of leave you alone and everything else. They just want to have sex with you. Kind of cool. It's like, okay, well, you know what? I got played in sex part. Well, that's about it. And then there's other part where obviously someone is a financial F-boy. Now, you know that when you got no good boundaries, you keep giving the boy money, that's your business. But you know what it is, right? But the emotional F-boy, it causes confusion because he creates an environment where you start to feel love. And that is where he pulls a rug from underneath your feet. Sort of it is kind of narcissistic a little bit, but really and truly, it's just the fact that they have such emotional wounds that they want you to feel close, fill that gap in, and then they pull the rug because they have no intention of giving you a relationship. Okay? Have no intention. That is what Matthew has, in a sense, done to AD in the first 2 episodes. We haven't even got part. We are on 2 episodes, and that's what the brother's done. Right? We're on 2 episodes. Let me so obviously he talks about how he's starting to see a therapist 4 to 5 months ago. You know, by the second date, he said actually, you know, that he finds her, you know, he likes that he's opening up to her and loving the conversation with her, right? Goes on to say about how she makes him nervous. Her by the 3rd date, he says he likes. This is probably episode 2. I think it's episode 2. I want to even. No, it's episode 1 to 2. Fantastic, yeah. Here's another thing that I red flag that I saw. Right, I want to bring this part. Here's where I really saw a red flag. There was a major red flag, and I hope I can find the right clip for you guys. It was episode 1 or episode 2 that he says it. It might have been episode 1 or 2. I can't remember. Chai. Okay, it is episode 1. I think it's episode 2. Oh, my notes are killing me, man. Cause I don't know if I've ever got episode 1 or 2, whatever. Okay, so I think it was episode 1, but where he goes on to say, right? I've got it. I put a timestamp. Thank for that, because I was like, blood, where is that? Hopefully I get the right part. Hopefully you guys bear with me, because I want to just play it behind the scenes.
Incredibly caring. I could just feel you being protective of me. And over the course of time, I'm just becoming.
Right. That's not it.
But
Accept it or reject it. But like,
you want the guy that's going to be the center of attention at parties? Probably isn't going to be me. There's a lot of people that do that, and I think a lot of women are attracted to it.
right.
But long term,
This part here, right?
guys like me win more.
This is where the red flag kicked in for me. When he said, guys like me, we win more. He said, listen, if you're attracted to the guy that likes attention, Yeah, yeah, that's cool, innit? But I want to let you know. Obviously, in the long term, guys like me, we win long term. I said, where? Where? I said, if he's, and that's when I started noticing that the elevation of himself. See, with Clay is very obvious. He puts it out there. He lets you know, this is me. I got an ego. I'm trying. I'm this and that. With Matthew, though, what we see with Matthew is somebody who tries to play the nice guy. That is what essentially that he's doing. He's playing the nice guy role. And what do we say about the nice guy role, guys? We keep telling you guys, nice guys are not good guys. Here's the difference between nice guy and a good guy. The nice guy, okay, the nice guy uses kindness as a manipulation tool. His kindness and his niceness, it's got nothing to do with you. It's all about manipulating you and to getting you into a position of you thinking they are good. The nice guy the nice guy has bad boundaries oftentimes, okay? They're not very assertive, all right? And they try to manipulate to get their way in a situation between you and them. They use guilt tripping. They tell elaborate stories. They try all of the things in the book they can to try and get you into a position where you like them, but based upon their niceness, not based upon who they are, but based upon their niceness. Oh, I've been nice to you, so you should love me. Right? Be very careful of those kind of people. And so when he says, "Oh, if you want the guy that's very attention seeking, out there, blah 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 blah," but it's guys like me that long lasting. It's guys like me that last long. I'm like, huh? Let me go back. Let me just go back. I'm gonna play it for you one more time, guys. Okay, all right, yeah. Look at this. A lot
of people that do that, and I think a lot of women are attracted to it.
Right.
But long term, I think guys like me win more.
Now let's pause it. They're gonna give me a copyright strike. Listen. Did you see Amber's face? Did you see Amber's face? The problem with Amber is she sees the red flags, but she doesn't stop. Right? She sees the red flags, but doesn't stop. And listen, we all have our time in our season. We all do some madness. I can't lie to you. But she saw the red flag and didn't want to stop. Right? Because her face told us she heard something that was wild. Okay? She was like, wait, hold on a minute. He's talking about the fact that how is he talking about the fact that, he's good? Like, with the situation when he's talking about the fact that, that guys like him last long. What do you mean guys like you? Why are you putting yourself on a pedestal? That's the most important part you have to understand as well, right? When you're dating somebody, listen to how they talk about themselves and others. I always find it as a red flag when people talk in third person, and when obviously as well, and also when people pedestalize themselves, right? So you got two things. People that pedestalize themselves are a problem, and people that obviously downgrade themselves are also a problem. But I feel like people who pedestalize themselves oftentimes, no, I don't. They're both as bad because they can both lead to manipulation, right? But the fact that he was trying to compare himself to other dudes, I keep saying this. This is why also Clay's a problem, because he keeps comparing himself to another dude, talking about how can somebody. You never voice this out your head, right? Why would you tell me? And Clay's another issue. Why would you tell us that, my competition, I should never, I hate when I'm competing against somebody who's not on my level. You're the fool. You are the fool. That you think someone's not on your level. You're the fool. You're the fool. If you think someone's not on your level, but they're beating you, you're the fool. Your arrogance precedes you and you don't realize you're an arrogant fool. And that's the problem. You should never consider somebody who you think is not on your league and not consider them. That's how you fall. Right? You're in competition. Okay? You're always going to be competing against somebody, and you should always respect your competitors. People that don't respect their competitors, they aren't sensible people. Now, that doesn't mean you should have confidence in yourself. By all means, be confident. Believe that you are the one and only. Believe that no one else can touch what you do. But when you voice out those thoughts and you talk about no one's on my level like that, it often comes from a place of arrogance in your heart. That doesn't mean that we don't have thoughts in our brain. We do. But when you're voicing it out like that, you got some arrogance. So Clay too is not a problem. But the fact that Matthew voiced that out was that, there's other guys, but me personally, I'm the, guys like me win long term. Yeah, they do. You know why? Because they're bastards. All right, they're bastards. Okay, so yeah, Matthew was a problem. Okay, all right, Matthew was an absolute problem to say the least, right? In that particular episode. Let me talk about in episode 2. I want to get some of the things that were happening there. In his situation, Matthew, man, I don't even know how I'm going to do 1 or 2 episode breakdowns for you guys because there's so much to go through. There's just too much. Let's go with obviously AD and Matthew, and then episode 2, the craziness that was going on, because I'm telling you, there was too much madness going on. Okay, so listen, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to our Dark Arts podcast as well. I'm going to put a link in the chat. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because let me tell you something, I'm going to do some breakdowns, smaller breakdowns as well for you guys on those issues as well going forward. Let's get that going. Okay, so episode 2, I want to get and see what he was saying in that, because let me tell you something, there was madness in the dunya and madness in the ends. Okay, all right, in episode 2. All right, so obviously by episode 2, right? She is by episode 2, yeah, AD has found out that Matthew has been saying some things both to herself and to Amber, right? She finds out that he's been saying, I want to leave with both you and Amber. She finds out by the episode 1 that this boy is playing. So she goes to confront the brother in question, okay? And let me tell you something. The brother is scary. Let me tell you why he's scary. I feel like I get the right part of the clip, okay? I want to get the right part of the clip because he is scary to me, okay? Because man went on a monologue, and the monologue was not needed. The monologue was freaking wild to me. Okay? There was 2 monologues that he went on, which were wild in episode 2. Let me see if I can get it. Hopefully I get it right.
Having other men sit and talk to you and pursue you.
Hold on. This ain't it.
And I came back to you tomorrow, I hope you would be ecstatic. Is Amber a fantastic person?
I don't know if I got the right part of the clip. Oh, my days. I want to get the clip for you guys because he was wilding. I mean, he was wilding, like
Our
properly wilding.
conversations, like they mean so much to me.
I think about you all day too.
I ain't got the right part of the clip, so I'm gonna have to find it for you guys. Listen, there was a part. I've written it down actually. I've written it down. Doesn't even matter. I've written it down. Here it was. So he said, obviously first and foremost, the things that he said to Amber were not as deep as what he said to AD. Let me just say this now. Well, Amber was cool with AD and told AD some of the things that he said. So there's no way he can flip it and say it wasn't as deep as what I said to her. And this is why I said about the emotional F-boy, because when they get you into a particular place, they get you into an emotional space where it's going to be very hard to disagree with what he's saying because you're going to feel some type of way. Right? So in this instance now, what you're seeing with Matthew is that he plays upon the fact that she's bought into him emotionally. Okay? But let's be honest, the brother said he wanted to leave with another woman. And said the same thing to you. So it can never be, there's different levels of deepness. And then played on the fact that I need to call your dad. Hey! I can't wait to do Dark Arts breakdowns. Then the guy said about, I need to talk to your dad before I actually, I need to call your dad. So before I, basically pop the question. I don't want to be disrespectful in a sense, right? He said that to Amber. Found out obviously her dad has passed away and was like, look, I need to talk to your mum. Make sure your mum this and that. I need to call my mum, let her know I found the one that I wanted. See, let me tell you something. Where Matthew is even beyond emotional F-boy. Okay? I want to call this, I have another few videos coming out. I call him the superstar F-boy. They're willing to do whatever. It's like not even superstar. I call them principalities and powers, probably on the edge of being narcissistic. But they are willing to use anything because, you see, there is honor amongst thieves. Okay? Hear me correctly. Is that right? Okay. There is honor amongst thieves. Okay? Let me just say this now. There are honor amongst thieves. What do I mean by this? F-boys have a little level of code of conduct. Okay? All right? There's a code of conduct we play by. Now, a little bit of a lie here, a little bit of a lie there, That's part of the code of conduct. You can do a little bit of that, right? A little feigning of a story, a little exaggeration of a story, we can do that, right? But things like people's dead parents, playing in the face of parents and stuff like that is going beyond the game. At that point, you're at the point of I want to destroy you. And that is beyond emotional F-boy. See, the emotional F-boy wants to sell a dream. And of course, he wants the person to be drawn in. But you have a limitation. When you go past that, you're trying to destroy the person. That's completely different. Right? At that point, he's moving into a very dark, dangerous space. We've gone beyond. You know what I'm saying to you? At that point, we've gone beyond. So that's a completely different conversation when it comes to Matthew's behavior. When I heard him do that, I was like, whoa. I said, there might be a little bit of narcissism here. Right? There might be a little bit of narcissism here because this is very different to how he wants to play the game. There is honor amongst thieves. When you play the game, you don't want to play. You have a heart. You don't want to be, playing games with someone's dead parents. You don't want to. There's a level to your madness, and there's a level to how much you want to go to, and that's one of the levels of madness. You're like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Right? Oh, Matthew watched previous seasons. Yeah, he watched. He was very much aware of the fact that cameras were watching. In fact, too aware. That was his problem, right? A little too aware of the cameras were watching. That's why I said a little bit of narcissism in there, because he's very much aware of the cameras. At first, when he said, oh, the cameras, he said, obviously, I wouldn't lie to you because the cameras are there. I was like, okay, cool, I get that. All right, so that one I got, right? I understood it. Yeah, the cameras are watching, so I wouldn't lie to you. That's something that, an emotional F-boy might say. But when he went on his rant, and I mean he went on a rant, okay? He went on his whole monologue, okay? He went on a whole monologue talking about how America is on his side. Oh, baby. I said, where are we?
Everyone has their own reasons. I don't know.
Hold on, there was two parts. I wonder if I can get...
Good morning.
Okay, hold on. Let me...
You know Amber left, right?
Let me get the clip for you guys before they poke me up. Because the part that he was moving mad was crazy. This guy said America's on my side. Ah! I don't know if I got it here. I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. Okay, cool, fantastic. Sorry, because I didn't take my notes on the thing, so it's very hard. So that was it. So here we go, guys. In fact, let me put it even small, because we don't need a Netflix coming after my ass. But here we go.
The way I did with you before. But America, they do love a good underdog, and they do love comebacks. I think I now got the entire country of America on my side.
Hey, yes. Why you do that to me? What you talking about?
Are you done? Are you done?
Because really and truly, why did the brother just come out start and telling us about how America's going to be on his side? It was given a monologue and a narration. It was giving a monologue and narration, and that's why I said maybe there's a little bit of narcissism here, just a little bit of narcissism here, or he's on a spectrum, because either one, I'm not sure. It could be spectrum or he's got a little bit of narcissism here. Because why are we talking almost as if talking about breaking the fourth wall and talking about how America loves a good comeback story, and we're talking about the heart of the person that you actually care about, and you're talking about America and a heart story. Tell me, please. Tell me, please. Yes, it was an evil villain's speech. Indeed. Yeah? I mean, I was confused as to why he decided to go down that space. America loves a good comeback story. Bro, I know that you're not watching the same thing I'm watching, that they're going to give you a good comeback story, bro. You are about to be a villain, and a villain for rest. And so when he did that, I was like, wait, hold on a minute. He really is going to be saying that, right? About America loves a good comeback story. And then obviously there's another part as well. I want to see it. Yes, onto the part where I said, yeah, if she don't run, she dead. There's a part where he talks about. I think it's the second. Hopefully, I got the right part, because if I did, yeah. Well, we are not going to make it in time, boy. These breakdowns are going to be so long. I'm going to have to do another breakdown a little bit later on for the rest of the characters, because 2 hours. I can do 2 hours on Matthew alone. I promise you.
Right now.
Don't tell me.
I'm going to tell you.
Here we go. Okay. Now, I thought this was a villain speech. Okay? This part here, I thought it was a villain speech. But when I realized... I said, damn, this is mad. Okay? All right? This part here. Listen to this.
If I had to make a decision right now.
Don't tell me.
I'm going to tell you. I think you want me to tell you. If I had to make a decision today, I would choose you.
Aye. But let me tell you something. He hasn't finished yet. Okay? No, he hasn't finished yet. Okay? He hasn't finished yet. So I was like, yo, wait. The brother went down the whole rabbit hole of saying, first and foremost, hold on a minute. And you know what it is? When you know you got someone by the balls, yeah? And you got the rabbit, it says no fun when the rabbit's got the gun, right? When you've got the gun laded ready, okay? And you're confident you've got that person tied up and locked up, that's when you can drop them kind of bars. Let me not lie to you. Emotional F-boys, we can sometimes drop those kind of, you know you want me to tell you. It's like almost like when you're saying, you know you're feeling me. I know you want this. When you know you got the person. But this came with another level, because now we know what happened after. This came with another level. When he's now saying to us and telling us, hold on a minute. When he's telling us that, you know what, that she wants to know about who he would choose. First and foremost, he's a goddamn liar, because he wouldn't have chosen her. He wouldn't have chosen her because he wanted to choose Amber in the end, the other Amber, right?
I'm making decisions tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Don't give up on me. Please.
Hold on. No, that wasn't even the part I wanted to even play,
I'm making
guys.
decisions tomorrow, okay?
That wasn't even the play I want to play about.
If I had to make a decision right now.
That's not the part I want. There's a part where he says, you know, you think me proposing is the most romantic thing. I want to get that part, because that part was wild.
Sit and talk to you and pursue you. Does it bother me? Of course it bothers me.
I think it might be here. Yeah. Please tell me this is the part. I really want to get this part.
Is Amber a fantastic person? Yes, she is.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a reason why I said what I said to you yesterday.
Man, I can't find it. Listen, I'm gonna have to a proper breakdown, because honestly, it's gonna be dangerous. Now he says this. He says, you think me proposing is the most romantic. It's the way if you listen to the language, it's what I was like, whoa. It was like, he said, you think me proposing is the most romantic thing ever. I love to give you that moment. One of the greatest moments of your own entire life. I said, whoa. I said, wait a minute now. I said, hold on, wait a minute now. I want you to understand something. Okay? I want you to understand something. Listen to the language he used. I need to find. I'm gonna find that clip. I refuse not to find that clip. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find that clip, because what? That part was wild. He said, listen, let me tell you something. I know you want the wedding. I know you want the marriage. I want to be the one to give it. It was nothing about what he wanted in terms of we as in a group. I got it. I found it. Okay, I found it, guys. Here we go. Okay, listen to this.
You watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
You think me proposing is like the most romantic thing ever. I would love to give you that moment. The moment would be one of the greatest moments of your life.
Pause. I want you to understand something. The language is what I'm calling out is a problem. Right? I don't want to get married to you just so you can have your moment. In fact, let me put a B there and mark it because I'm going to cut this video up. I want you to pay attention to me very clearly now, okay? Anybody listen to this? If you're about to enter into a phase of marriage or you're trying to go into an engagement with somebody, love, whatever, right? As a man or a woman, okay, I am not doing this for you. I am doing this because I care about you and I love you, and it's a we. I'm marrying you, and I want to give you the best moments we have. It's not the best moment you had. Okay? So when he says, I want to make it the best moment for your life, she should have been like, wait, hold on, what? It's meant to be a we thing. But because she's so invested in feeling special, she missed it. Because she's so invested in wanting to feel special. The day of marriage is not for a woman. I know the marriage ceremony, people want to call it for women. It's not for women. It's for both men and women. You are going to marry somebody. You are about to enter into an engagement where two of you are about to agree. The wedding day is about to be the best day for both of us because we are now unifying our lives together and two are becoming one. I'm happy because I've got the person that's going to support me, love me, care about me. You're going to be happy because you've got someone who's going to love you, care about you, support you, potentially provide for you, whatever, protect you, etc., right? So when I use language like this is going to be the best day of your life, in this instance, especially with the things that he's already kind of said, right? And use a language about you think, remember, he's the word you. Listen to what he said. You think me proposing is the most romantic thing ever. One of the greatest moments of your life. There's no we there, baby. No we there at all, baby. No we there at all, okay? All right. And then he talked about how, you've watched the show. So this is what, so everything he was saying was always going back to the wedding day or the show. He knows the cameras are on him. Now, whether he's playing a role or whether he's just narcissistic in a way of doing it. Yeah. Yeah. That is wild. That is very wild. That's very true, Jala. Very, very true. That's very, very true. And then listen to this part here. I want to see if I can get this part right. Hopefully I get it right. Right? Let me see if I can get this right. I want to see what he tells her. Boy was moving mad. Okay, so I want to get this part for you guys. This is where he started. This is where he started manipulation, guys. Okay, this is where he chat. Look. This is where he started manipulation. He started whining her in. Man said, "Listen, hey, look, I didn't say this particular thing to Amber when he did say it that he wants to leave with her." Like, and this is why I was like, wait, hold on a minute. And the problem was also because Amber 1 and Amber 2 weren't really talking about what was happening. Because each person was trying to shield themselves from saying too much or allowing themselves to be taken a breath by, whatever. But either way, in this situation, Amber and Amber needed to talk and actually share the information. Okay? And so what ended up happening in the situation was, because neither of them spoke, and he actually mentioned it. If you listen to him, if you go and watch the parts where the scene, he goes, will you go back and tell anybody about this? And she was like, no, I just want to revel in this moment. Da-da-da. At that point, he knew she ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, exactly, Aries, exactly. So he already knew, right? He already knew. So he knew the kind of woman that she was and knew that, okay, that she ain't gonna say nothing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it played, right? Which is why you tell your friends certain stuff, because you want them to know. Not all, because of course, when you're in a relationship, you can't tell them every single thing, because you want them to have some level of, you don't want them to there are things that happen in relationships that if all your friends knew, you wouldn't be in the best place at all. But what I'm saying is, he made sure that AD was confirming that, I won't say anything to anybody. I'm good. I want to keep this to myself. I want to be able to work it in this particular way. So I was like, oh, okay, great. Okay, I'll definitely hear it. And then, then he switched the situation, right? I want to get this part where he switches. I want to get this part. Hold on. Let me not play it. I want to get this part here. I want to get the part where he says this. Hold on. I want to get the other part where he says... I don't know. I have to find it behind the scenes. Where he says this line. What he says to her is that basically, he says to her basically that, you know what, if I choose you, I hope you'll be ecstatic that I chose you. And I said, Lord have mercy. The brother said, listen, if I choose you, I hope you almost in a sense like the tone was almost saying you better be ecstatic about the fact that I chose you. I said, oh my days. Negro, are you okay? Are you all right in the head? Are you smooth? Because I was like, we about to lose some brain cells here. The brother was literally, as he said, listen, look, hey, you know, if I choose you, you know, be ecstatic basically. And I was like, blood, this guy is wilding. He is wilding. I don't know what else to say. Okay, I don't know what else to say about that situation. Look, let me flip it now to Clay. I'm going to do separate breakdowns for Matthew. Don't worry. I'll do separate breakdowns. I'll provide clips as well so we can get into that because I'll be here for the next 4 or 5 hours trying to break down Matthew and we ain't got the time. Okay, we ain't got the time. Now, I want to talk about Clay and AD too. Okay, because Clay and AD is another situation I think is very important to discuss as well because that was quite a mad thing as well in that situation, right? Clay and AD, okay? Clay and AD. So let me just edit the banner because we're going to talk about this, right? Clay and AD, okay? Now, I won't go too deep with them either because I want to do a separate breakdown because, boy, there's just too much to break down. Do you know what I mean? There's just too much to go through for me to give you an effective breakdown because, they really packed these 2 episodes. I don't know with everything, baby. Okay? Everything. All right? So let me go to episode 1 with Clay because, baby, the boy knows. Okay, so... okay, cool. Date number 3. Okay. Date number 3, okay? I mean, no, day number 1, I should say even. Hold on. Okay, so this was crazy. Let me just get to the Clay part, right? I need to go back to episode 1 and get into this as well. So let me get into this, the date where... Hold on. Let me get to this Clay's conversation with her. Because he admits some things. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's trying to change. But I realized the truth is also a drug as well that is used by F-boys. F-boys like to use the truth too. Okay, all right. F-boys like to use they like to also use the truth as a weapon. If you don't know, get to know, player. Okay. Let me see. Let me fucking guess. Let me see this. I want to get this cup for you. So I can find it for you guys. Hold on. Okay, cool. I found it. Look. Let's get to it. Okay? Let's get to it. Here we go.
As a man, like, I should probably emulate who you look up to the most.
Yeah.
You know? My ego is very huge. Like, and it's been a pro and also been a con for me. And naturally, I am a smooth guy, but the suaveness, or like the chill, the coolness is like a little bit of a security blanket.
Now, listen. Clay is a dangerous one because you get caught up. It's hard to tell because you get caught up in his honesty, right? You get caught up. You get caught up in his honesty. You get caught up in his forthrightness, right? You know, and the way that he's so open about some of his flaws, right? He's very open, telling you that he's this, he's that. You know, look, you have to be very careful of people that oversell themselves and people that undersell themselves. Just be very careful. Okay, people that oversell their flaws and people that completely undersell their flaws, be very careful. It's all about balance. Okay, it's all about balance. Okay, when they oversell their flaws and when they undersell it, it's speaking about an overestimation of confidence and an underestimation of your confidence. Either one promotes over security and under security. Okay, now what he was doing for me personally, and again, all of this episode 1 and 2 is all dark arts. So I'll have to do separate videos. He says his pride is his security blanket, right? And he realized that maybe he isn't as emotionally comforting as, he needed to be, all right? He doesn't have, he said obviously about having how he would usually speak about the physical and the financial aspects, but you know what? He's happy that he's not having to rely on that at the moment. He just wants somebody to see him. I actually do believe him. No, that's my problem. He's not lying. And that's the biggest issue. He's using the truth as the next weapon. Okay, all right, but he's actually telling you how he's not good for you. Oh, let me tell you this now. Look, it's the best game you can play because you are never at fault. When you play this game, you are never at fault. If I tell you I'm a bastard and you love me, if I tell you I'm wicked and you love me, if I tell you that I'm likely to cheat on you, but if I tell you that my ego is the biggest thing going, and you know what? Exactly. You knew what I was, girl. You knew what I was. And I told you from the beginning, right? So the honesty is to level set the playing ground. It's to let you know, I'm letting you know ahead of time that this is me. So if I become that thing, don't get angry when I become that very thing that you see before you. Okay? If I become the monster before you, I told you I was a monster, babe. Why are you flipping out? Why are you expecting more from me when I told you I am what I am? Now, again, I told you we all do these mistakes, right? If I told you I'm not the type, okay? Okay, what do you want to do? Aries with the comment about the mullet. Yeah, he did say that still. He was being real. And so then he gives you the red flag a little bit later on, right? Because he's going to talk about something. Hold on, let me see if I can get for you guys.
I've always felt like I could get women, but there's been a lot of women that I loved. I never felt like I was chose by the one that I wanted. I guess maybe the way I come off, maybe I don't provide that sense of security emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I always get women, but I don't get the woman that I don't get the woman that actually choose me. Huh? I have to rerun it. Let me rerun it. Maybe I misheard what he said. My brain is not even functioning. Hold on. I think I misheard him.
It's like a little bit of a security blanket. I've always felt like I could get women, but there's been a lot of women that I loved. I never felt like I was chose by the one that I wanted.
There you go. Sorry, apologies. I misquoted. He never felt like the one that he wanted. He never felt like the one that, in a sense, that he wants has ever chosen him, right? So the one that he actually wants has never really chosen him. What basically he's saying is, I've never met a woman that actually, honestly, I've never met a woman that cares about me the same way I care about her. The one that I respect the same way she respects me. He's not found that. Okay, all right, but exactly, El Cid. That is exactly what he's saying. Okay, that's exactly what he's saying, because in essence, what you're telling me is you've loved people, right? That you don't feel that they love you the same way that you want to love them, or sorry, the other way around, right? And so in that instance, I'm like, wait, hold on a minute. So you loving women that you ain't really cared about that much? Yeah. So you like a Build-A-Bear boo. So you're the Build-A-Bear boo. This is why it works. He is the Build-A-Bear boo. What I mean by that is he's the project. And he's telling you, let me sell my project to you. Okay? Yeah? I want to sell you my project. I am the project I'm selling to you. You're going to, you're going to come and build me. And that's the honest truth. Okay, so you're going to end up in a space where you're going to try and build him because you're going to be like, he's so honest and so raw. I told you, give me grace because I'm still failing. Yeah. You're a grown-ass boy now, okay? You are a grown-ass man, okay? right? There's certain mistakes that don't need to be happening. But he gonna tell you, you know I cheated, but you know, I told you I have a problem with this. I'm struggling. That's why I said I need you. He's the type to say those bars. I told you that I need you. I told you that, you know, that you make me better. I told you that, you know, like with you, I'm recovering, I'm healing. That's what it sounds like.
I guess maybe the way I come off, maybe I don't provide that sense of security emotionally. Maybe it's not as comforting. And the thing is, lady, like this experience has definitely been like eye-opening for me. I don't have the physical to lead on, you know, like even I'm talking about financial stability, like I'm not taking you on it.
So obviously, but this is a very difficult game to spot. You have to be acquainted with the game. I can't lie to you. Okay? This game that he's playing, if you meet this one, just gotta be very careful. It's very hard to spot, right? Until he says something that's a bit wild, and I'll show you where I'll show you where you find him out, right? And it's in the same scene. In the same scene, that's where you find him out, right? You're gonna find it out.
Play like I want to get to know you, and so yeah.
Hold on, let me force-foot it. Yes, we go.
I appreciate that. I want to get to know you more and like take it.
In a experiment where we're not talking about appearance.
I just have to be attracted to you.
Do you have like a specific thing that you're hoping comes through that door, or are you open to like a beauty that maybe?
Now listen, Clay is very honest. Listen, he wants a certain level of attraction. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you go on the show, you need to release that because that's the reason why you're on the show. But I understand what you're saying, right? But the reality of the situation is that's where you have the realness where it's gonna go against you, right? So there you get your first red flag. Your antenna should be up. Your antenna should go start wiggling because at that point, he knows what the experiment is. See, that's the whole point about F-boys. They're always going to come out of position. They're always going to come out. Nobody's a perfect actor because they're human beings. So at that point, what he was doing, he had said some truths and all that kind of stuff, but now he's going to come out of position, telling you, listen, hey, look, and this is only the beginning of you changing yourself to fit the mold. You are going to die an early death for this man. I promise you. You listen to me very carefully. Sisters, listen to me very carefully. The show is called Love is Blind. He says, I'm going to need to see you to know what you look like and I need to be attracted to you. Knowing the show is called Love is Blind. Knowing we had 6 seasons. Then he's giving you all these truths about how bad he is, right? And how great he's not, right? So he's underselling himself and kind of talk about all his and overselling all his flaws, right? So that you can love the flaws and cover him and appreciate him. And then the show is about Love is Blind. It's Love is Blind, but he wants to now tell you about how you look. And the one thing that happened was later on we actually saw that AD was wondering to herself, should I even talk about how I look to make him feel okay? She actually considered it. Had she not had Matthew on the other side, she would have shown him or told him how she looks and gave the game away. And once he knew how you looked and didn't think you were the baddest bee, he was going to take your life and soul. He was going to take your life and soul to the cleaners. I'm telling you. Okay? He would have taken you to the cleaners. Fresh, easy. I'm telling you. Right? So, in that moment, I saw with that situation, I was like, we're going to have a problem. He going to be a problem. He going to be a mother freaking problem. Because he knows the show is not about the physical. And talks about how, a minute ago, he said, I don't have the physical and the financial to rest upon. Right? He said, I don't have the physical and the financial to rest upon. And by the end of the conversation, tells you what's the physical. Let me get to episode 2 of what he says with Clay and Amber. Man. Clay and AD. Let's get to this point, right? Let's get to episode 2. Let me get there. Okay. Episode 2. I want to focus on this part because old boy, and listen, I can't lie to you, old boy was thinking to himself, he was about to crash out. He was about to crash out. I'm telling you, old boy was about to crash out. He was about to crash out. Okay? He was about to crash out.
And work with you on this. It doesn't make me feel good. So if you care, I really need you to think about this. You know, hopefully I see you tomorrow and we can talk about it. If not, you know, I get it. And we'll reconvene, you know?
All right. Sorry that I couldn't give you what you needed.
That's all you got?
He said, hey. He was about to crash out. Listen, of course, I do think there's some truth in this, right? He opened himself up a little bit. Let's be honest. I don't want to be so bad about it. He opened himself up, was vulnerable, and once he was vulnerable, she had another option, and he couldn't handle it. And look, knowing that your person's got another person in the wings, it's never easy. I'm not going to pretend as if it is easy. I'm not going to pretend as if it's a simple thing. I'm not going to pretend as if, you know, your heart doesn't beat and pace when you feel like, you know what, you know, that someone else got a love interest elsewhere. I'm not saying you're going to be cool. Let's not pretend as if people are not going to be cool. I'm not saying you're going to be cool. I wasn't even annoyed at the fact that you're pacing up and down the room because it is painful, right? Knowing your person that you like has someone else in the wings, it is going to be painful. It's hard to hear. Your ego takes a hit. You're bruised. I hear all of those things, right? I'm not mad at that, and I think he had every right to feel that type of way, okay? But let's go.
I don't know what you want me to say. Are you looking for an apology?
No, I'm not.
What are you looking for?
I don't know. Maybe you telling me that you care and you will want to see me tomorrow. I don't know. Some type of reassurance. Like,
So he wanted reassurance, which was fine. Again, I think what, you know, the reality of the situation is these situations are very difficult. They want a little bit of reassurance from the situation. This is why dating multiple people and them knowing is really tough. That's why it's really, really tough. Yeah, that's a difficult one. The part I want to focus on is a part where it's when he realized who it was. It's the part I want to focus on because that one threw me through a loop. Brother said, listen, cannot be, can never be. You're telling me my rival is such and such? Damn. Let's see if I can play this on. Let me get the right clip.
In my head,
Wait, hold on.
in the lounge today in a very he just asked like what, like my father.
Okay,
why?
I formed a connection with someone else, and in that process he had formed a connection with someone else, and it got back to me in the lounge today in a very personal way. My father just
Can I just say this as well though? I actually don't know why she told him this information. I was asking myself, why is she telling him about the other situation? Why was she talking about it? I was like, oh girl, you naive. Don't be telling this boy the information. Why would you tell him? Right? My thing is like, why would you tell him? It's like, why are you telling him information about the other dude? And you're sitting there thinking it's gonna be kosher. Of course it's not gonna be kosher. Who wants to hear about the other person who you had a connection with and was all really good and now they're disrespecting you? It's making it sound like I'm your second best. Nobody wants to hear that. I just needed her to have a little bit more wisdom in that situation. Okay? A little bit more wisdom. It was not sensible to tell this guy this information.
just passed away, and he was like, oh, if I do propose to you, like I would want to ask for his hand. So when I heard another woman come up to me, I was like, he just asked like what, like my father, things like verbatim. It's just like the fact that I thought I had a conversation that was like.
So she thinks she's doing something by sharing this information. Like, you know what? I'm being vulnerable. I'm being open. I'm being transparent. No, baby, you're being foolish. Okay? And I don't want to be a fool for you. No. I don't want to be a fool for you no more. You know what I mean? Like, why are you still trying to be a fool, sis? I need you not to be telling this information. It wasn't necessary. This wasn't a point in time to release this information. You should have been talking to your girlfriends, not releasing this information to your love interest. Because now he's stressed. You get what I'm saying to you? Now he's stressed. Anyway.
Like personal.
Let me get the part where he said about who it was.
Are you not feeling me or you are? Because what you just told me has nothing to do with me. What?
Can't lie. When he said that, I actually believe what he said.
Oh my fucking God. Okay. you're gonna regret that shit. I'm telling you, like, 80, like, I don't understand. Like, am I not?
When the brother said, you're going to regret this, I said, yeah. At that point, that's a red flag you need. When the brother said, hey, you are going to regret this, at that point I knew there's certain things you just shouldn't say, right? Look, we all get hurt, right? We all do. It's natural. It's human being behavior. We all get hurt. But that lash out where he said, you're going to regret this, was kind of scary. Now, I don't think he's going to do anything. But again, it's kind of scary. Okay? Whenever you talk about potentially going to do something to somebody else who your love interest actually is, and you make it sound like it's going to be, that is always a red flag. Like, if he was saying, listen, like, you know what? You're going to lose me today or something, it might have been a little bit better. But the brother said, listen, you going to regret this. It's like, yikes. I'm not saying you can't express yourself. I'm not saying you can't be angry. And I'm not saying that you can't be hurt. I'm actually saying you can be those things. But the reality of the situation is, when he said, you know, that, you know, you're going to be absolutely, you're going to absolutely regret it. I was like, gotta be very careful with the language you use, my friend. You gotta be very careful. Gotta be very careful. Like, do you know what I mean? Just be very careful with those languages. Yeah, he might have meant her picking Matt over him, right? But even okay, so let's take it as he was saying that you're gonna regret choosing him over me. Just gotta be very careful. Just gotta be very careful. Gotta be very, very careful. But again, like I said, I don't know why she told him. She didn't need to. Very, very naive.
Not like saying the right things to you, like you're not having the right conversations. Like, I really can't even fathom.
What? Am I not allowed to contemplate? Am I not?
Now, this is where he started spiraling, and I said, yeah, it's a bit mad. Okay? Why? When he said, listen, am I not having the right conversations with you? That's when I said, yeah, brother, you off the link too, bro. You off the link too. Am I not having the right conversations with you? Am I not having the right conversations with you? What? Wait, what? What you mean by that? What do you mean by we're not having the right conversations, sir? Almost as if am I not saying the right thing to make you fall in love with me? And that's where it's not genuine, right? And that's the whole point. Exactly. And that's the whole point. It's as if, and that's why I said it's not genuine, because it's like what you're really wanting is for her to fall. What you're really wanting is for her to fall. You're hoping that by you have been this open and you've been so vulnerable with her and saying all how you feel and you felt, that why isn't she, begging for the scraps at my table, bro? Right? Have I not had the right conversation with you? Yeah, no, you have. So why mention it? Have I not had the right conversation with you? Excuse me? What? That's when I said, yeah.
Not allowed to have a moment?
Like, you like me, but you don't like me like that. You're trying
I do like you like that.
AD, I'm telling you, it's not seeming like that, girl. Like,
it's not that I don't like you like that. I had a stronger connection, and maybe it was just stronger in my head.
I mean, I don't know what she's talking about being strong in her head. It really wasn't strong in her head. It was stronger overall. It was stronger overall, to be honest. It seemed like you wanted Matthew to choose you. But I'm not mad at it. Listen, I'm not mad at it. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? So don't ever feel like you have to. Yeah, good point, El Cid. That's a good point. That's a good point. I think he does want to be chased. I think he does want to be chased, and has been chased. Remember, that's the kind of women he picks. He's not choosing women that he wants, that want him. He's choosing women that want him, but it's not necessarily that he wants them. So those women are always indebted to him. because again, his ego has to be sufficed and it has to be built up. His ego has to be fulfilled. And so now in a space with a woman who has a power in a scenario, it's going to be very painful. It's going to be scary. Yeah? It's going to be very, very scary to have a situation where the woman is in control and has a power over you. His ego ain't going to take that very nicely. Right? So, yeah, that's why I was like, what? You know? I was like, yo, brother, we're going to need you to chill a little bit. Okay? We're going to need you to chill a little bit. All right, cool. Let's move on. Let's move on. Because my time is short and I'm already at 1 hour, 15 minutes as well. But the part I wanted to focus on, the last part on his part, was what he says to the guys. Because I know he was pissed. He was pissed.
Competition with like other men that I don't think is of mine. Like, I'm sorry, like, and I was kind of like on a high horse, and now I'm definitely like kind of got a little bit humble. One thing I don't like doing is having competition with like other men that I don't think is of mine. Like, I'm sorry, like, I feel it's like I don't.
He's like, listen, one thing I don't do is not, you know, I like the fact that I'm competing against guys who are really not on my level, and that arrogance is what's going to be the problem. Okay, that arrogance is what's going to be the problem, because you believe that he's not your level, but the reality is he is your level. And if it's not your level, he's punching above his weight and he's making you feel shame. Right? It don't look good either way. But the arrogance of thinking that the guy's not on your level when he's in the same show that you're on, you yourself know that you don't provide emotional security very well at all. You know that yourself. So where do you think that you are so high level of your game? Because you're used to using your prowess, your height, your good looks, your money, as you said. You no longer have that. The playing field is now equal. You got to use your personality. How good is your personality? You got to now sell yourself based upon not the physical attributes, but now within the intrinsic attributes you have. Right? So you thought that Matthew weren't on your level, but like Ant-Man, the brother grew. Right? The brother grew. And his game was tight, unfortunately, compared to yours. You will learn. You will learn. All right, let me leave it there then. I'll talk quickly about a couple of the other couples as well. Let me talk about some of the good ones, because I really do like some of the couples here. Can we talk about Amy and Johnny? I really love Amy and Johnny in their relationship. Like I said, I'll do separate breakdowns, but I love Amy and Johnny so much because I love their connection. I think it's authentic. I think it's real. You know, and I think they have something great going on with Amy and Johnny. I really like them. The moment I met Johnny the first time, I really liked Johnny's, you know, voice. I liked his voice. It seemed to be authentic to me. You know what I mean? And it seemed really, really cool as well. But like I said, I'm only episode 2. I ain't watched any further. So, but up to episode 2, I liked him and Johnny and Amy together. This is them.
Amy, Tiffany, Valenska. Will you please make me the happiest man alive? Spend the rest of your life with me and marry me.
Now, I felt like they were authentic. You know, I felt like they had a good conversation. I felt like they talked well. I felt like, you know, that they had some good conversations when she mentioned about her brother. Mentioned about going to Japan. They spoke about Naruto. They spoke about New Jersey. Spoke about their parents. Said about obviously how she loves her brother and wants him to come and stay. And he said, "Cool, yeah." You know, he said, "It's cool, yeah." He don't mind that. And I was like, "Okay, this is looking sensible. You know, this is looking good. This is looking healthy." And he was melting over her voice. You know. And I was like, yo, I love the two of them together. I just love their energy. I think they're just really nice to be around. And, you know, I love the little touching moments. I love the fact he supported her. When she mentioned about her brother, and her brother was autistic and might have to come and stay with her, you know, he didn't hesitate to say, hey, look, that's fine by me. If I had my siblings, I would want them to come and stay with me too. He was very forthright and coming and didn't seem to have an issue with that as well. So I was very much pleased with with Johnny and Amy, I felt their connection seemed real and seemed authentic as well. And like she said, obviously her main priority is her brother. Her dad's her father as a legal guardian. You know, and then they said obviously they felt like they become best friends. And he told her he loves her, right? And she said, I love you too. And he only had 2 rules. His 2 rules were, listen, number 1, tell me right away if you want something to change. And number 2, I want to be able to lie next to you next 90 years or whatever, right? And so I like their connection because it seemed authentic. It seemed real. It seemed, you know, that they were on the same wavelength and the same page. I didn't find any red flags per se watching them. I may, other people might be, he might be that he falls quick. That could be a red flag if they want to call it that. But other than that, I didn't see any red flags. I was like, you know what? Seems to be pretty cool. Like, can't lie to you. Seems to be pretty cool. You know, so for me, I wasn't too angry about it. I liked it. I liked where they were going, and I liked what they were bringing to the table. I felt like it was really nice to see them together and see them flourishing as well. I won't spend much time on them because I think, again, they might come up a little bit later on. We'll see. Someone said gives a 5-star clinger. We'll see a little bit later on. Trevor and Chelsea. Let's talk about them real quick as well, because Chelsea has got pure man. Oi, Chelsea has got man after man after man, but Chelsea is interesting. Chelsea is absolutely interesting, and I'll tell you, it's interesting to watch Chelsea in this scenario because with Chelsea, she obviously got divorced. She was married and got divorced. She married at 18, got divorced, I think, by 23 or whatever. And she is having connections with both Jimmy and Trevor. Okay, she has a connection with Jimmy and Trevor.
That sounds like a great day.
90% of literally like the noise I hear from you is just laughs.
So Chelsea and Jimmy are pretty cool, but Trevor and Chelsea is interesting because Jimmy has a connection with both Chelsea and Jess. I find this interesting because Trevor and Chelsea, like, for me, is that, you know, I don't know, I haven't got much from Trevor, like, in terms of bad or anything like that. I think I just felt like, obviously, because it seemed like he was giving a little bit slow, but I'm not thinking he is slow. I just think it's just given that way because of the way he speaks. But, you know, he said, obviously, he sees grandkids. He says he realized he had competition and he felt that they connect on so many different things. And then she obviously let him know that she was a sucker for the mullet. But they actually didn't really have much necessarily bonding aspects. They didn't show much of that in the first 2 episodes. They mentioned about the dogs being the same thing and how his dog was the same name as her name. But the one thing that was obviously real was that him sharing about the fact that he feels he's got some soft side of him. So he's a muscly guy, but he's got a soft side of him. Like, watch his notebook. He's a lover. And for him, he's all about, it's all about the emotions of, all about the softness and all about the emotions, all about the love. That's what he loves. And I was like, okay, cool. Trevor and Chelsea look like they could be cool. Now, Jimmy and Chelsea is another interesting situation, right? Jimmy and Chelsea is interesting because if you really deep their situation, right, yeah, with Jimmy and Chelsea, Jimmy felt some type of way about her being married, but he already had some conversation with Jessica. That's why he felt some way. But Jimmy had an issue with her being married and then divorcing. And then after, he was like, actually, no, it doesn't mean anything. It's not a big deal. Now, Jimmy, as he said himself, you know, he falls in love fast. He's from a small town, but he has a great connection with Chelsea. But his parents weren't necessarily supportive at first when it came to his career and his chosen profession and education as well. But he said, obviously, look, I'm trying to think where he said it. Okay, Chelsea and Jimmy, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so let me get this part for you guys. Chelsea and Jimmy. Okay, that's it there. Okay. So with Jimmy and Chelsea, what I noticed about them two is that she came back, she apologized for the situation. He said it's not a deal breaker. My thing with Jimmy is this. I think he takes a little bit of time to process, but then doesn't tell you the truth about how he feels. I almost feel like he doesn't tell you the truth. Now, it might be edited. It doesn't feel like he always tells the full truth. Like, he'll be hurt by something and then not say that it hurt him per se, right? And I think that's going to come up probably later on. That might come up later on when you can't really say why, you know, you can't really say that what you really feel. So you're kind of going along with the flow, even though you don't feel the right way about it. You might want to look into that boundaries issue. He likes that he can make her laugh, and he's here to find a wife. And I was like, wait, hold on. Who has a closer connection? And then when she said she looks like Megan Fox, he got excited and said, listen, yeah, let's get married tomorrow or whatever, right? So clearly attraction is a big thing for him, like it is for most men. But my thing is with Chelsea and Jimmy is because Chelsea is talking to other people, I wonder how he's going to feel when she finds out. I wonder if he's going to hold it down. Okay? Because the way he reacted to the marriage situation, then was like, let me give you a second, I need to go away, come back and process it. And he came back and processed it. I was like, I wonder. So yeah, I'm not sure what Jimmy's gonna do with Chelsea, but you know, second episode in, what I would say is that Chelsea was very honest about her situation. She was honest about the fact that, looks, you know, hey, I've been married before. I was young. I was 18. You know, this is something new to me. Like I was fresh out the boat, and so I ended up marrying my childhood sweetheart. That's what happened. I'm not mad at it. I actually understand it. I wasn't even mad at it, and I felt like it was respectful. Now, Jimmy and Jessica, how soon is too soon? At what point should you tell somebody that you have a child? How soon is too soon? I think with Jessica, she left it a little bit late. All right? I think she left it a little bit late to say it. And the reason why I say that is because she knew by saying it, she wanted him to buy into her. But the reality was, you never want, and let me say this, right? You never want the man to build a picture of what you are to him and then destroy it. Right? Never, ever, ever do it, because men are very much like very linear thinkers. What that means is once they get on a track, it's very hard for them to get off the track. So if he starts building a picture, don't ask him now to rub it out and start all over again. He's going to have a problem with it. So you have to say it from the very beginning so that he can start building the picture in his head. And if that includes a kid, fantastic, he'll go ahead. If it's not, then he won't. But if you don't and you wait till later and you think you're going to add it as a supplication, men are not like women. Once they start the painting, they want to finish it. That's it. And so unfortunately, you know, she telling him later on has thrown him into confusion and potentially disillusion. Right? It's thrown him into a little bit of disillusion. So for me personally, if you want to know anything about telling a man about a big secret like that, tell him from the beginning so that he can get past it and build a picture. Don't let him build a picture and then you tell him something, because that will rock the boat and more than likely he can't recover. If you have kids, I think you should say it from the jump. Just so that the movie in the head doesn't run along. So that the movie in your head doesn't start playing and start sending you signals about, maybe we should consider this person. Woo. Okay, so for me personally, that's it. Should have said it from the beginning. Okay. That beginning. And then obviously I know he was asking questions, Jimmy was asking questions about her kid, Autumn, and and I was just like, yeah. I don't know. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be really interesting to see that. I was like, not sure about that. I wasn't sure about that. I was like, now we're having a conversation, but I don't know how he really feels. I don't know if he's asking questions to be nice or whether he really feels. I was like, yeah, the fact he had to process it, take time to sit with it, I was like, yeah, he don't want it. Like he said, he's happy to be, married, but to be a father, that's another step. That's another step for him. He wasn't ready for that. you know. And I hear it. She of course she talked about, you know, becoming a wife and wanting to become a wife, but she was more afraid of the fact that he'll be rejected by this. You know? Now she did share that her dad suffered with drugs but both the mum and dad, they were druggies, unfortunately, and the dad committed suicide, unfortunately. And due to that, she was also then adopted at 16. So I understand why she was acting this way. She's protecting herself, right? I actually understood it. I was like, oh, okay, I get why she did it that way. She's a foster care kid, you know. Parents died early, you know. Mum and dad passed away. That's probably a lot to deal with. And also because you're coming from a background where, and she said something interesting that was like, got my antennas up. My antennas went right up. This part here, right? When she said, I'm used to putting on my best presentation so that nobody knows what chaos I'm going through. I said, oh. She's like, I'm used to putting on a good presentation to know, so that nobody knows to ask about my chaos that's going on. I said, I said, sis, do we need to watch out for you? Do we need to be careful of what you do? Do we need to be watching and thinking maybe there's something wrong with you because what's going on? That's a little bit wild. I said, no, there's something about this. There's something about this situation, you know? But yeah, definitely I'll say. That's what I was saying. That's why I said I understood it. It's definitely a foster care mentality, right? Like she didn't want to, that's a way of surviving in a sense. But I was like, yeah, that seems like a very drastic position to take. Okay, I heard that. Let's go to obviously, who's the other couple? I want to end on Kenneth and Brittany. Yeah, I want to end on Kenneth and Brittany as well. So, man, this show is too good, man. I'm definitely going to do a separate breakdown. Kenneth and Brittany, my thoughts on them. Okay, so with Kenneth and Brittany, let me be very honest with you. I feel like this was a great representation. I loved it. Now, hopefully the carnage doesn't happen in 3 and 4, but I really loved episode 2 and watching Kenneth and Brittany get together. I mean, they spoke about God. They spoke about some of their traumas, people passing, some people dying. It was very, very sad, very, very emotional. But I love the fact that they had God in the center of everything. I love the fact that God was what they were leaning on, and that God was that conversational starter. And I love the fact that, you know, they spoke about their childhoods and said about how they had to grow up really quickly, how both of them had to grow up quickly and get to a place. Now, a lot of this is trauma. A lot of this is bonding over the trauma a little bit. So I have to be very careful. I don't want to get too excited, because a lot of the conversation was bonding over the trauma, but they were sharing their thoughts and their feelings about what they've been through. And then, you know, she mentioned about the fact her birthday is on the date of her mum's twin, basically her mum's birthday. And so I was like, okay, but they're kind of bonding a little bit too much on the trauma, but I want to still give them a chance. Then they had the fact that they wanted more than 2 kids. You know, they spoke about God's providence. They spoke about different place, you know. I don't know. I felt like Kenneth and Brittany had an authenticity. Anyone else agree with that? Maybe they disagree. I don't know. How do you guys found? I like Kenneth and Brittany personally. I thought that they brought some stuff to the table. I thought that, you know what, with Kenneth and Brittany, you know, he was very composed, you know, and she spoke some great words over him. He spoke about how when he was a 12-year-old, had to grow up quickly because mum passed. There was a lot of conversation, but a lot of it was bonding over trauma. So we'll have to wait and see the totality of that relationship. They seem good now, but let's wait the length and breadth of that relationship. Well, guys, listen, I want to do an hour and a half. I think we're good. I think we've done good. Listen, I am going to do separate breakdowns and go deeper, so don't worry about it. But make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. I'm going to love you and leave you now. And I'm going to do some other shorter videos as well. So I want to be able to do that for you in more detail and hyper focus on some of the things that were happening. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button. I've got a live tomorrow with Carmen. So tomorrow, Carmen will be on the channel tomorrow. She'll be having an interview about Love and Marriage DC. So hopefully we'll have a conversation there. and as well. All right. So yes, Jay's on later as well. So if you guys are around, please join Jay on her live and go and support her as well. Okay, guys. Much appreciation. We'll see you again tomorrow again for another live on Love is Blind.